Oh Mann. Er driftet immer mehr ab. Aber was für ein Unfall ist passiert? Ist er in die Maschine reinkommen? Ich weiß es nicht.
In his own eyes, he'd become something greater than a king.
Alter.
For someone who'd never known success in the real world, I think it was overwhelming.
Das glaube ich.
And then it struck him that the real Lewis was not the one chopping salmon, but the one climbing the steps of a golden palace. My imagination is as real as my body, he told me.
Ach, die Prinzessin ist weg.
It was hard to argue with him.
Er ließ nicht mit sich streiten. Hä? Was? Oh, und die Wirklichkeit hat uns wieder. Oh nein, er war immer noch in seiner Welt. Nee. Oh nee, bitte nicht.
He began to forget the world we know.
Er begann die Welt, wie wir sie kennen, zu vergessen. Nein. Oh, verdammt.
I think it pained him to remember Lewis, the cannery worker.
Nein. Nein. Nein.
He began to despise the man with a royal contempt.
Nein. Wie jetzt? Er war das. Hä?
I still thought I could save him.
Ich dachte noch immer, ich könnte ihn retten. Oh nein.
Even after he said he was being crowned king over all the lands of wonder.
Oh nein.
The palace would be packed with his companions. Including the wise Calico who'd insisted on advising him.
Molly. Molly. Ich glaube, die sind ja alle dem Wahnsinn verfallen, oder?
His queen waited, holding his crown.
Seine Krone? Oh nein.
There was only one thing left to do.
Er musste aus dem Diesseits verschwinden. Oh nein!
slammed down on his head.
Oh nein. Verdammt.
And the rest I think you know. Mrs. Finch, your son was a kind man who will be missed by all of us who knew him.
My brother was really cool. I wish you could have met him.
Oh Mann. Shit. Oh shit.
On the way back from Lewis's funeral, my mom told me to start packing. She waited until the day before we left to tell Edie. I'm not sure if she wanted to make it easier or harder.
Oh Mann. Ich glaube, ich werde daran zerbrochen.
I wish we'd stayed.
Ich werde daran zerbrochen.
But I understand why we left.
Du verstehst, warum sie gegangen sind, ja? Weil das alles hier ein doch runterzieht. To teach and to learn. Oh God, you have called your servants to ventures of which we cannot see the ending, where passes yet untrodden. Through perils unknown. Give us faith to go out with God, courage, not knowing where we go, but only that your hand is leading us, and your love supporting us. Through you is Jesus Christus, our Lord. Amen.
My mom ended up leaving everything behind.
Das stimmt. Das stimmt. Don't Finch. Wie gesagt, es hier zu wohnen, wenn
What
ich
happened that night had been coming for a long time.
Das ist schon so lange angekündigt.
Maybe it should have come sooner.
Vielleicht hätte es schon früher geschehen sollen. Edith. Oh. Oh nein.
But it had to end one way or another. All that's left now is to tell you about that last night.
Oh. Happy Night. 90. Wieso leuchten die noch? Ich denke, die haben keinen Strom mehr. Gut, und ist ja noch ein Stromaggregat. Norwegen Volltalks. Folklore. Das sind die ganzen Tiere. Da ist aber auch der Ritter oder ihr Bruder, alles. Das ist alles da. Oh je, Edith.
That whole last day, Edie just watched us pack and didn't say a word. Until supper, when she raised her glass and said,
To our final night together, and all our final nights apart.
Grandma, you know what I said about alcohol. Some of your medications are very
Edith,
specific.
I left a present for you in the hallway. Why don't you go open it? The grown-ups have to argue now.
I'm sorry, you're right. We're all leaving tomorrow. Let's just enjoy our last...
I'm not leaving.
Edith, you're excused.
Okay. Einfach mal dezent ausgesperrt. Und hier sind noch Kerzen an.
the power had been shut off that morning, but Edie always had plenty of candles.
Der Strom war ausgefahren, aber Edie hatte wie immer.
When my mom sealed the library, I don't think she knew about the other entrance.
Ah.
Or that Edie had a key to it.
Okay. Wir sind in der
The
Bibliothek.
thing you're afraid of isn't going to end when you leave the house.
Da hat sie recht. Alles, was geschehen
Edith
ist.
has a right to know these stories.
My children are dead because of your stories. I think it's best if Edith and I leave tonight.
Ihre
We'll
Geschichte.
have the nursing home send a van for you in the morning. Okay?
Ihre Geschichten haben zu dem Tod von allen geführt. Das kann ein History of the Finches by Edith Finch.
Dear Edith, there's so many stories I wish I could tell you, but there's only time for one. This is about what happened on the night you were born. That night, the tide went way, way out.
Was?
It was the first and last time I ever saw the old house aground. There'd been an earthquake out in the middle of the ocean. They called it the lowest tide in 1,000 years. God, it smelled awful. You know, I've seen that house every day of my life. But I never thought I'd go back to it.
Ich will jetzt
When
gerne
the
rennen.
fog rolled in, I lost my way.
Oh oh.
I got turned around.
Oh oh. But I also find the right
For a
way.
while, I wandered. I started seeing things.
Was? Der Hirsch? Ich hab keine Ahnung.
Things I'd forgotten had ever existed.
Dinge, deren Existenz ich völlig vergessen hatte.
But when I saw them, they felt like old friends. That night, a lot of things came back to me. Or maybe I came back to them.
Wir sind jetzt die Edie.
Things I can't explain, but that I need you to try and...
Edith, what are you doing in here?
It's mine.
Edith!
Mom, you're gonna rip it! Let go! I kicked and screamed, but Mom dragged me to the car. I never saw Great-Grandma Edie again. The next morning, the van came to pick her up, but she was already gone.
Oh.
After that, we moved around a lot.
Das Kennys habe ich aufgemacht.
We both tried to make the best of it. A few years went by. My mom didn't like to talk about it, but she started getting sick a lot. The rest happened pretty quickly.
Die Krankheit.
She got better for a while, and then she didn't. And then I was alone. The last Finch left alive. Until I found out about you. I'm still not sure what to tell you about all this. If we lived forever, maybe we'd have time to understand things. But as it is, I think the best we can do is try to open our eyes. And appreciate how strange and brief all of this is. This journal was supposed to be for you. But now I hope you'll never see it. I just want to meet you and tell you all these stories myself. But I guess if you're reading this now, things didn't work out that way. This is where your story begins. I'm sorry I won't be there to see it. It's a lot to ask, but I don't want you to be sad that I'm gone. I want you to be amazed that any of us ever had a chance to be here at all. Good luck.
Ich weiß gar nicht, was ich dazu sagen soll. Das Ende von allem. Ein schönes Spiel, aber auch ein Spiel, das zum Nachdenken anregt. Das muss ich jetzt erstmal sacken lassen. Ich kann jetzt leider nichts dazu sagen. Ja, Mann. Ich danke fürs Zuschauen. Mann, was ist mit Milton passiert? Verdammt. Ich danke fürs Zuschauen und ich hoffe, dass es euch gefallen hat. Wow. Ja, ihr wisst, ihr könnt gerne einen Daumen nach oben da lassen. Kommentare jederzeit was reinschreiben, was gut oder was nicht so gut war. Ihr könnt mich auch gerne abonnieren, ihr wisst ja, alles kann. Nichts muss. Dann sage ich mal einfach, in diesem Sinne, bis zum nächsten Let's Play. Bis dahin, gehabt euch wohl.